So everybody in the world knows what divorce is.
Sure.
But I think most of what the divorce practice is takes place after the divorce.
Probably the main area that we see it is in the permanent parenting plan. As you know, when two parties get divorced and they've got children, they enter into a parenting plan, and that's a document that you can find out on the web. You can find it on our website. The problem with a parenting plan, generally we're doing those for young children, and kids are kids until they're 18 as far as the law is concerned here in Tennessee. Nothing that I do today is going to be good for that family in 12 years. So we need to be able to go back in and change. And the way that we do that is a petition to modify. We want to make sure that we do what's right and what's in the best interest of the child. Following suit with that is the ability to come back in and alter and change the parenting plan. If we do a plan where, let's say Dad lives in Missouri, and we give Dad the third week of every month, the child's going to go to Missouri and stay there with Dad. Well, that's a great plan. It allows Dad to have time. It allows the child to stay in Memphis the majority of the time. But when that child turns 5, when that child enters school, that plan's not going to work anymore. So we need to be able to go back in and we need to be able to renegotiate it. The same thing happens when kids turn 14, 15. They start getting extracurricular activities. And it may be Dad's time, but they may have a football game or a camp, something that needs to be ordered, changed by the court. And the way that we do that is we can file a petition to modify, but what I like to encourage folks to do is sit down and have an adult conversation with your spouse. I know that in talking with you off camera, you're a big proponent, like I am, of just using some common sense, trying to get some practical solutions to problems without involving the court. So the first thing we're gonna encourage you to do is talk with your ex-spouse and say, okay, what we've got now isn't working. Can we modify it? And if you two can agree on it, then it's just a simple matter of getting an attorney to write up those documents and filing it with the court. If you can agree, the next step I would always encourage people to do is go to mediation. Go to mediation, sit down with a neutral third party, and see if they can work out an agreement amongst you. If we can get that done, then really we sit down, we put pen to paper, we write it up, and we go with that plan as long as it'll last. But because we're dealing with human beings, because we're not dealing with property, it's probably going to need to be changed down the line. That's the main goal in raising a child, is trying to do what's best for them. And if that means we need to alter the plan, let's do it. Let's work together and let's solve it. Our last fallback should be to go in front of the court and say, Your Honor, this isn't working. I think this is what's best for the child. They think this is what's best for the child. We need Your Honor to tell us what's best for the child.